Alright, so let's see if. Okay, we got a couple people in the chat. I see Biscuits. Is the sound alright? Sounds good, sounds good. That's good to hear. Hello, CRQ Wishy. Is this Illinois Wish this time? So I gotta figure out how I want to do this. I might have to create some sort of challenge bracket this time around. Yep, Swordgar Wish. My second favorite wish. So I think what I might have to do this time, I think I'll make a challenge bracket. So we're gonna log in. I'm not gonna show my password here. So I can't spell. Okay. So single stage. We'll hit double limb. Yeah, we'll do. Advanced options. We're just gonna hide the seed numbers. Where's only. Okay, so. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start with C1 here. Alright. So this is the pool as I'm hearing some other people in my ears here. I'm listening to some people. But so we have Shaq in this pool. We have Shaq, Net Play Abuse, Norse, Ragnell, Subrosian, Mexican, Kuzu, Fuzz. And so Fuzz is seated in this one, as he should be. So in this pool, man, this is super interesting. I think Norse versus Ragnell should be relatively interesting. Like, I mean, it's still Aurier versus Hilda, and Norse should probably win this one. Actually, let's take a look at the projected of this pool here. So this is Norse versus Shaq projected in semifinals here, and we have Subrosian versus Fuzz Burticus. That pool right here, this one right here, Subrosian versus Fuzz. So if you watched Michigan Masters, you saw that Fuzz Burticus like really was like a drop away from beating Klim even. So Subrosian's kind of been getting back into it. I know he's been playing in Vancouver. I don't know how much. But I actually think Fuzzburdicus takes winner semis here. So I think it is. I think it's going to be Shaq versus Fuzzburdicus in winners finals of this pool, and then from here on the loser side, uh, I don't think Subrosian will have too much of an issue with Regno, and yeah, yeah, I think Shaq Fuzz and Subrosian Hooper is the wave here. I think Shaq gets out in winners, but Fuzzburdicus can Fuzzburdicus can beat Shaq, but I don't think he'll do it this time. So I do have actually hold on. Let's see. I'll pull up a notepad. So we got Shaq in winners, and then Fuzz in losers, Subrosian, and losers. Sorry, I'm gonna have to mute what I'm listening to. It's a little bit distracting at this point. Give me a half second. Alright. So we're about to move on. Let's go to what is it, C2? Yep. I'm gonna go to C2 from here. Oop. Oh boy, I messed that one up. There we go. Cool. So C2 has Klim Kusanagi, Dollar, Ryan Hunter, and Queen of Moths all on the same side. I have to feel for Queen of Moths. I know she really doesn't like the Yuzu matchup, and assuming that she beats Nisox, she's going to run straight into Ryan Hunter. That's kind of a rough draw. Miles being my local. If he defeats Project, he's running into Dollar. I think Klim versus Kusanagi is probably going to be up here. Dollar versus Ryan Hunter. I actually think Wish will get to TTK. I think Wish versus TTK will happen. And probably Chibi Bobo King running into Enigma. And then Enigma just kind of running through the side here to winner semis. Up top, I know Klim kind of like historically kind of struggles, or at least seems to struggle a little bit against Yuzuria, but I don't know how much Kusanagi's really been playing or anything like that. I think Klim kind of safely gets past winners finals, gets into semis against Dollar. I think that it would probably be a little wise for Dollar, or not for Dollar, excuse me, for Klim not to play Phonon in this set. I know Senna and Dollar are Senna, aka Tempest. There we go. Senna, aka Tempest, has played Dollar like basically weekly, and that's a lot of experience. Oh, Kusanagi has been net playing like crazy. Okay, I see. That's good to know. Oh, you play him all the time? Yeah, Texas to the. I think Kusanagi is in Mexico. Yeah, so this pool got even more interesting. I think Kusanagi. I don't know how much like high level uni experience that he's really going to run into. No disrespect to you, Hooper, and the players in Texas, but I think like what Klim usually tends to offer is really strong, and like we saw like I think Klim drowned in Texas Showdown. So it's not like Klim is infallible, but I think it's pretty reasonable to expect Klim to get over Kusanagi here. Klim, I think, should play Merkaba against Dollar Seth. I think there is a potential upset alert here with Dollar. Depending on how comfortable Dollar play like feels, or how he's able to play against Klim. I think Klim should have some Seth experience. I'm pretty sure Psychotic has played some Seth out there as well. In fact, I know I had seen like a winners finals or a grand finals when he was playing. So he should have some sort of familiarity with the matchup as well. On the bottom side, I think TTK versus Enigma is an extremely interesting matchup. TTK is a very talented player in his own right, and Enigma is, at least as far as my knowledge, coming from last year CEO Taku, Enigma of kind of like the faux Illuminati that's not JJ. I would have probably put Enigma at the best of that group. But we haven't heard anything from Enigma in a while. Like maybe he's been net playing. It's entirely possible. I know I don't really play on PC that much, so like I haven't seen him. But Enigma was definitely one of the more impressive players that I remember seeing toward the end of last year. So I know talking in the Discord a little bit, that's also kind of their upset alert was potentially, hey Murphy, kind of their upset alert was potentially Enigma over TTK. But in this case, I'm just going to put TTK here. So that pushes us toward the lower bracket. Let's look at where Malcolm Strickland, or excuse me, D-Hamster ended up going to, because Kusanagi will probably end up there. So Kusanagi will end up playing against Wish, and I don't know how comfortable he is against Nanase or against Yuzu, but like I know that Yuzu versus Nanase is like a pretty bad matchup. I think that Kusanagi probably wins that one. And so Kusanagi versus Ryan Hunter in a Yuzu mirror to fight Enigma, like that's kind of rough. I think Enigma still wins that, and then Enigma versus Dollar to get out? Are you serious? That one's super brutal. Oh my god. Chat, who do y'all like? This is actually this one's a toss up to me. I think if you're willing to be interested in wagering here and there, that's one that you might want to keep your eye on, is Enigma versus Dollar. Especially because Dollar plays Senna a lot. And I don't know how much experience that Enigma has against Seth. Dollar's definitely going to have some nuances that Enigma, unless he has experience, really isn't going to interact with that much. That's fine, Jay. You basically like would mostly know those players if you played them at Taku last year, or really if you're following the Southeast kind of scene. And I think outside of some of the rising star, like the obvious stars of the area, like your Strats, your Argenrosts, Cookie is kind of up there. That guy, like those groups, and JJ, of course. Like, unless you're really kind of paying attention to the scene there, it's a little difficult to like know who some of those players are. I actually think I have Dollar in this scenario beating Enigma. I think the practice with Senna probably pays off, and we have Dollar get into top 48. But Enigma definitely can win that. LTP likes Enigma full bias. Yeah, obviously. The full Illuminati has to stick together. So, winner out of that pool. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. Klim versus TTK. So this is a set that I definitely think TTK can win. TTK has familiarity with Phonom for sure, and then okay, cool. Wish does have a local Yuzu. I think Kusanagi is probably a bit more experienced though, but yeah. So TTK versus Klim. This one's a pretty interesting matchup too, because TTK has experience against both of the characters. Like, he has to know Merkava, because he's played Dave and some of the East Coast Merkavas like relatively often. I think he's now kind of down in MDVA, and they definitely have some mercs down there. Maybe he's been able to play Fuzzburdicus himself. Um, and then of course he has experience against Phonon as well. Clem has been like not shaky because like when I watch Clem, I don't have the sense that he's fallen off or anything like that. But I think a lot of people kind of is caught up. Really, the word to use, I guess, or phrase, not word. It seems like the floor, like the skill floor of like the uni community is caught up. And TTK, like I think I talked about this in the previous analysis stream. I'll touch on it because like I don't want to slow my roll through the pools and stuff. TTK has basically like been right underneath. He's placed ninth at the last couple tournaments. So he's kind of, I think, prepared himself. I know like he was with us in Japan too, getting exposure to various playstyles. I didn't have a chance to really talk to him at length because we kind of split up after KSB. But I think that he definitely has it in him to win that. So I'm going to call for an upset, and I'm going to put TTK out in winners here. I'll have Clem out in losers. And then I think I have Dollar out in losers here. Let me mark those a certain way too. This mock bracket I'm making is going to be real messed up, and it's going to be very time consuming. So I'll try to go through this as swiftly as I can for both your sake and my own sake. So we're going to move on to C3. This one has Trill, Datagram, Soul Good Guy, Vic Viper, Punk, Karada, Hairraiser, Gelato, Frosty, and Sonic Sphere. So from the top, I think Datagram has run into a real bout of bad luck having to fight Trill round 2. I think Trill pretty safely gets through to winner's quarters. Carthage versus Soul Good Guy here should be pretty interesting. Soul Good Guy is an Akatsuki from Indiana. I know the last time we played, I think it was like 2-1, my favorite. Like, it was close. So I would definitely keep my eye out for Soul Good Guy. But I think Trill gets to semis like pretty safely. This bracket cluster here, because Punk's here. Punk versus Vic Viper. Vic Viper is really good, but Punk's defense is good. He, like, through his Street Fighter knowledge and his general comfortability with Phonon, I think puts himself in some pretty good positions. And Vic Viper, she has a tendency to overcommit sometimes. So I think that this one actually goes to Punk. I think Punk makes it actually to winner semis here. I think Punk takes Vic Viper's place to face Trill, where he will inevitably be sent to losers because I'm pretty sure he has no idea what the fuck Chaos is. Karada, I think, runs into Sonic Sphere because Frosty is deciding not to play in tournament. Now, this is up in the air all the way until Friday or whatever. Maybe he touches down and he plays a couple games and he's just like, well, I think I want to play now. But from his word, which I'm going to take on, he's just there for casuals. I don't think he got refunded or anything like that. So in that case, I think Sonic Sphere beats Gelato and gets safely to Karuta, where that's a matchup where Karuta, I think, has a lot of experience against Calamity, and Sonic Sphere probably doesn't have that much experience. I think Karuta will go ahead and get to Trill in Winners Finals, so we'll move on from there. I think Punk gets the Winner Semis, so he's going to run here rather than Vic Viper. I think Vic Viper is going to be on the other side, which sets up another potential meetup of, let's see, where did Punk end up? Yeah, I think Vic Viper basically navigates all the way through here. Vic Viper versus Sonic Spear happens for like the third time because she played him at Mackay, she played him at Michigan Masters. Actually, sorry, she played him at Frosty Faustings. And on the other side, I think Soul Good Guy gets to Punk. I think once more, Punk's defense and like kind of the character matchup shines through a little bit too much. I would love to see Soul Good Guy beat him here. If he can get past Datagram, I don't want to put that out there like Datagram can't get there. But I think Punk probably plays Sonic Sphere, and that one is kind of interesting. Sonic Sphere does play against Phonon. I know we have Tiggy here. There is the Phonon player from Northeast Ohio. Oh, geez. Sorry, Sean. I don't remember what your tag is. This is gonna bother me. But he plays against Phonon like fairly regularly. It's a matchup that I think Sonic Sphere's defense should be good enough to do. But Sonic Sphere versus Punk to get out of the pool should be interesting. I think Sonic Sphere gets out. But let's go ahead and move topside. Trill versus Karada. I mean, at this point, like, Karada, it's hard to sleep on Karada. Karada beat Klim. He beat me. He's kind of, like, stacking more and more, like, notable wins. But Trill is pretty expansive, I think, in his knowledge against Yuzuriha. He's beaten Trill. He's beaten Tari before in top 8s, and he has a lot of composure. He hasn't really been too weak to like Rising Star type players, unless for whatever reason you consider Dual Seeker to be one, but Dual Seeker is like really sick. So I think Trill, Karada, and Sonic Sphere get out of this pool. We'll go ahead and move on. But this one should be very interesting through losers as well. We'll move to C4, and then I'll take a note. So we got Trill out. Actually, I might have to double back. Because, no, that would mess up things. Never mind. Excuse me. I'll have to put buys in the winners bracket if I wanted to do that. So Trill out in winners, Card out in losers finals, and Sonic Sphere and loser semis. I'll check the chat in just a second. C4, this one has Rakir, Black Atlas, Sakanto, Razmafuth, Tommy Two Step, Mars, Hanzo, LTP is in this one, Junko Kono, aka Zatcat. We have Nerd Josh in this pool as well. Let me see what you guys are thinking about this one. Let's see. Okay. Genesis DC, there we go. I think Rakir pretty safely gets to winners finals from this side. I would keep my eye on Mars. We're at C3 at this point, Havard. So in C1, I have Shaq, Fuzz, Subrosian. In C2, I have TTK, Klim, Dollar. In C3, we're at C4, excuse me. C3 is Trill, Karada, and Sonic Sphere. Trill, LTP, Zatcat. The one thing that I would sort of keep a note of is Mars is kind of crazy, and Hanzo, I don't know how familiar he is with Enkidu. Mars will do his Mars thing regardless of who's playing on the other side of him. So Mars could definitely get to the winner semis part of this pool, which kind of changes the losers dynamic a little bit. On the bottom part, I have to feel Royal's not counting Mars, I see. On the bottom part, I think, assuming that Junko or that cat doesn't get kind of surprised by Nerd Josh, he's a very fundamental player, plays a bajillion games, pretty good in almost all of them. As long as he doesn't get surprised by some Wagner stuff, because Nerd Josh plays Wagner, He should safely get there. Uh, I think that Zatcat can beat LTP, but I think LTP gets there. I have no idea if Josh is good at Uni. Josh is good at fighting games, so anything can happen with that. So, yeah, I think winners finals is Rakir versus LTP. I think LTP can win that, but I'm just going to kind of chalk up the experience point to Rakir. But LTP is more than would I even call that like a big upset if he beats Rakir? I don't know how active Rakir has been. I know work, not necessarily work. Excuse me, school has been kind of killing him. But I think Rakir gets in the top 48. And losers though, so let's see where Hanzo ended up going. Let's not sleep on Tommy 2 Step 2. He's kind of nice. But I think Hanzo would have to play Zatcat, where Mars would probably be on the other side in my prediction. I think Zatcat probably beats Hanzo. I don't know how familiar he is with Hilda. And I'd say that Zach is probably a bit more experienced. I feel like I'm probably sleeping on Hanzo, and I really feel bad about that. But I don't know how much he's really been able to play. He's been obviously really active with streaming and everything like that. I feel like Zach has had more opportunities to kind of play and get more experience, tournament experience under his belt. Not that Hanzo's not playing in NorCal. But yeah, I think Mars versus Zatcat probably is the loser semis, and I like Zatcat to get out of that. So I'll go ahead and write that. I think I have Rakir in winners. And LTP in losers. And I'll put Junko, Kuno, but you're always going to be Zatcat to me. I can't even make fun of your anime name because I definitely have a Japanese name. And I'm not Japanese. Okay. So that wraps up our C-Wave, actually. We're going to go ahead and move to the 5 o'clock. Let's see. Thank you, Havard, for the subscription. Oh, okay. You played Rakir at Frosty a good amount. How do you feel your chances are there, LTP? I'm interested in finding that out. Also, for the people that subbed, please drop your Aka Pensives in the chat. You know, we're all out here struggling. Yeah, of course he's going to buy Clown Katsuki for the setups. Havard's out here. You got a sub for that one, Brandon. Sorry. But, yeah. So now we're on to Squish's pool. Squish has Obama, PS1 demo disc, who's the 4th Line out there. And below that actually is kind of messed up. We got Bafajig versus Cathaticus. So Kath is one of the wildest, I wish I could say wildest Oryes in the West, but he's Midwest. He is definitely the wildest Orye in the Midwest, for sure. But depending on where you kind of put Ohio, I think it's safe to say that that's not West. I think Batho probably beats Cathaticus, though, because I know, Batho did play Norse, presumably before she left. So I'd have to imagine that he has experience. Kath has a lot of experience himself because he plays online a lot. But his aggressive tendencies tend to get him into trouble. I did say that, but he did beat KFL at Climax of Night. So this one is another one of those circle Bs if you want to make an investment. Maybe not with me. There's definitely people at the venue that I'm sure would be willing. So keep your eye out for that one. But I think Bafo moves on to fight Squish. And Squish has to fight Yuzu, but he's strong enough to do it. So I think he gets to winners finals. On the other side, we have Senior Taxi, Mr. E, After Party, Angel. With the rest of the pool, I kind of think that Angel just really makes it out there. Tanner does have some Hilda experience because Minimap plays, but I gotta be real. There's no Hilda in North America that presents the sort of situations that Angel puts you in. And if she's playing with confidence, Angel, I think, has the ability to basically beat anybody. She had, at least as far as the few games that I've been able to play against Japanese Hildas, she had more dirt than them. I think very highly of Angel, but Angel's confidence kind of gets shaken. She kind of struggles in tournament. But I think she will be able to overcome Tanner because she also has a lot of Merkava experience in New York. You have God Hunter, you have Kama, you've got a lot of Merkavas on the East Coast. So I think Angel moves on. I think Squish will beat Angel, not because it's going to be free, but because Angel did just beat Fendo a couple weeks ago. But Angel's composure, I think, shakes in high. I don't know how much exposure to high profile stuff she has and how comfortable she's going to be. This is upset alert for me, but I think Squish wins that. From the bottom here, I think Kath versus Tanner actually ends up super interesting. Tanner, I think I like over Kath. Very close, like 2-1. They're both aggressive players, but I think Merkava probably presents a few more interesting situations for Aurier to have to deal with than vice versa. See, Bafo. Yeah, I think Bafo gets pretty safely through. So that really meets Bafo versus Tanner to get out of that pool. And I think I like Bafo here. Sorry, Tanner. I would absolutely love for you to prove me wrong. Bafo plays Yuzuria. Yeah, Merc is an extremely stable character. That character, like, I remember before we were talking about like how Merc might be mid tier or something like that. No, that's crazy. That character is too strong for him to be bad or average even. That character's dirty. Yeah, I want Tanner to win, but I don't know how comfortable he is against Yuzu. So I'm going to put Bafo, but in my heart, Tanner, I want you to win. So we have Squish Angel and Bafo Jig to get out of that pool. But Tanner in my heart, of course. So for some additional information, Bafo actually nearly beat Giuseppe to get out at Climax of Night. So there's a little bit more of an anecdote there. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to move on to D2. And that pool has magnets in it. Yay! So, this is the Magnets, Pharaoh, Foxov, Nipperman, Cookie pool. Ooh, this one's a doozy. Casual Breloom's in here too. Let's not sleep on him. I think Casual Breloom will possibly get to winner's quarters. Mech, I heard, is pretty nice. Magnets should probably clear through most of that. Now Ray, I know in watching Super TSB and like I've been able to watch some of the MVVA, some of the Xanadu stuff. Ray is impressive. TS being Team Spooky, so he's a longtime player, OG multiplayer. This guy is talented. His Gordo is nice. Definitely be on the lookout. I think Pharaoh's one of the players that I remember respecting a lot when I went and played at Garage Gear last summer. Royal, you might be familiar with him too. I think Pharaoh ended up beating Silver Hydra at that tournament, but Pharaoh was nice like months ago, and it's been almost a year since I've seen him, so I'd have to imagine that he's improved. This quarterfinal should be really interesting. Gordo versus Akatsuki is a pretty volatile matchup. It's close to even. You have characters who can both move well. You have Akatsuki that has to thread himself through like the scythe normals and things like that, where he can really get to the position to bully like Gordo. But I think Ray probably beats Pharaoh there. Yeah, Ray is extremely strong. Ray is extremely strong. So I think Ray gets the magnets, and let's not sleep on that. If Magnets isn't aware, Magnets 100% can lose this set. Outnum versus Gordo is a pretty classic matchup for Gordos that have come from EL as well. Yeah, Frosty. I'm super excited to watch this one. But that's a classic matchup. Magnets has more pressure on him, I think, to win this, to get to Fox. But like if he navigates this well, he probably will have gotten over any nerves that he has in the pool. But this is a big test, not just for Ray, but also for Magnets. On the other side, we have Foxa versus Cookie. I think Nipperman, who is a Aurier from the Midwest as well, is a strong player in and of his own right. You also have Grave there too. I can't sleep on that. Grave is nice. You have the winner of Nipperman Grave, which should be a set to watch. Playing Foxov. I think Foxov pretty safely navigates that. Foxov is extremely talented. Very difficult. If you've been following net play tournaments, like he hasn't been uprooted for a little while. There's like a bounty on him and everything. On the bottom, you have Cookie and Command Throw, who plays like I think Waldstein, and that's like a super comfort matchup for Cookie, who has either beaten Argon-Ross or like come close to beating him like significant amount of times. So that leads into Gordo versus Batista, which is a matchup that I think Gordo thrives in. If there are some matchups that like he would probably feel comfortable in, I would say Batista's one of them. But on the other hand, I don't know how much Batista practice Cookie has. And just on that note alone, because Fox like basically forces you to think about the matchup a little differently, I probably have Foxov getting out. So Magnets versus Foxov. I'm gonna put that off to the side and just go through losers because I could probably talk about that one for a minute. So let's go ahead and move. Let's see. Grave Nipperman. So Corey Bald goes to Q. Loser of Q. Or excuse me. Corey Bald is over there. So that'll be Grave versus Ray. And Pharaoh versus Nipperman, more than likely. I think Pharaoh versus Cookie and Ray versus Grave at the bottom. Cookie Pharaoh is a trap game for Cookie. Cookie, I think, should be the person that wins that, but Pharaoh is a little bit of the wild side himself. And Cookie has more composure since he's been competing in BB Tag. But I think Akatsuki, as an Akatsuki player, Akatsuki has a special way of kind of tilting you sometimes. And Pharaoh is more than willing to let things like Six Siege rip in those kind of fuzzy situations where you might not want to do something. And that could definitely tilt someone. I think I have actually Pharaoh getting past Cookie for that reason. I would love Cookie to prove me wrong as well. I think Ray probably beats Grave, but like we can't sleep on that one. But Ray versus Pharaoh, which I think is a rematch. Is that Double Jeopardy? My expected Double Jeopardy? Yeah. That's going to be a Double Jeopardy that I think Pharaoh probably loses. So I think Ray gets out in loser semis of that pool. Yeah, 6C is. Whew, boy. I think it's the Akatsuki Zero, and I like him, but I don't think he has it in him for Fox. So, yeah. So Magnets versus Foxo. I think if there are like two sets, and you wanted to bet on some uni, you wanted to make some investments, this is the first premiere one, and I'm so glad it's getting streamed. I am so glad it's getting streamed. There's no way, like if that's not being played on a stream, I'm going to be livid. And I'm like, I think one of the bracket runners at that point, or the stream runner or something. Whoo boy, that one, yeah. Who's trying to invest? You navigate that amongst yourselves. But I think whoever wins, it's going to be a 2-1 set. And I have my boy Magnets. Foxov 100% can win that. But that one is one that you should be crowding around. 100% you should be crowding that. Periscope the side bets, whatever. That one is the type of uni set that we want to see. But I have Magnets, so that's my boy. I live and die by him. That's my, I guess, son, as I yelled before. But I have Magnets. But that sends Foxov, I think regardless if Foxov gets out in winners or in losers, neither him or Magnets is a opponent that you want to see in losers or in winners. They're both pretty terrifying. No, they did not play at FF. Royal Heart, I think, beat Foxov to advance. Did you beat both Foxov and LTP, or just Foxov? House on Magnets, yo. We have Ray getting out in losers semifinals. Yep. So, wow. Okay. We have Royal Heart, the Northeast Killer. We'll see if he can make it for 3-3 this time around. But we'll go ahead and move. Oh, God. So this is the anti-walled pool here. You have Argenross, you have Liam, you have Suika, and you have God Hunter. You also have JC. Swanson's in this pool. He plays Vitista, if I remember correctly. You have Tuxedo Mask, who plays Gordeau. TLOU, who plays Hilda. If Argen, if you're watching, or if you watch this VOD, if you decide to play Gordeau in this pool, I 1000% don't blame you. If you want to play Gord, I think you should play Gord. But if you're going to play Walled, whoo boy. If you're gonna play Walled, I respect you. But if you want to play Gord, I'm right there with you, bro. If you play Gord, I think you will probably have a higher statistical chance against Liam. Liam, as you probably know, very mobile player. Defense very strong. I think Wald probably has some real difficulties kind of chasing her down and things like that, or really just kind of closing in. I want to say that if you decide to play Wald, I probably have Liam. Liam is my boy. You're my boy too. But yeah, that one's a conditional. But I'll make the assumption that you're going to play Gord. Not that your Wald can't do it, but I think your Wald is going to struggle if you pick it. But I'll call Argen through. And Suika versus God Hunter. I know Tora. He does have an Aurea. Suika versus God Hunter is not a set that you can sleep on either. There's no way. Oh, I won't say that there's no way that Suika blows through this one, but I think God Hunter is a player that you're definitely sleeping on. So, God Hunter has multiple characters. He has Gordo, he has Wald himself, and he has Merkava. Not that Suika doesn't have experience against Merkava, but I think God Hunter is like another player that kind of impressed me as well. Suika obviously has more of the obvious like highs. Third place at this event last year. But yeah, God Hunter's definitely not picking Wald. He shouldn't pick Wald either. I think. Do I really let my East Coast bias go here and call God Hunter? My heart says God Hunter 2-1. But I think Suika, after coming back from Japan, I know through talking to him there, he was just like, I need to sharpen up. I need to like pay more attention and like play cleaner. I think Suika probably took that to heart and has kind of cleaned up some of his wilder tendencies. He's tightened some things up a little bit more. I have Suika going through here with Suika versus Argon Ross. Oh my god. That one. This pool, man. I'm so glad I'm not in this pool. This pool is fucked up. Suika versus Argon is a set that, like. Oh boy. Again, this is another one. If you want to play Gord in this one, bro, I'd go for it. I know you have confidence in your Wald. No one's going to judge you if you don't do it. Your Wald's nice. Your Wald's sick. Like not just nice. Your Wald is super good. Your Gord is fucking nice. Waldvat is Wald favorite. I don't know about that one, Royal. Is Argon what? I'm seeing this stuff get held. Is Argon like a bad word on Twitch? That's interesting. I kind of think that way as well, Gine. I think since I do have Argon getting past Liam, I think Argon gets out of his pool and winners here. So we're gonna move from here and go through this brutal part here. Oh god, God Hunter versus Liam to get out of the pool. Oh my god. I'm sorry, God Hunter. Liam's my boy. I gotta make this nice and quick. I won't even wax poetic because I have no idea what I'm gonna see out of this one. God Hunter definitely has a lot of experience with Angel, but like the mobility that Liam plays with, like I feel like I'm confounded by it every time I run into it. I think Liam probably gets out. So we got Argon in winners, Suika, losers finals, loser semifinals, Liam. This pool is so messed up. Oh god. Gonna move to D4. Hilda beats Merc. I think I don't know about that. I think the matchup, like before, I think Merc was generally considered to beat. Yeah, I think Merc was generally considered to beat Hilda, but I think the matchup's probably 5-5 at this point. I don't know if there's a character that has a distinct advantage in that one. And yes, this is Mr. You Suck's pool. It has Clear Lamp, Mr. You Suck, Kagure, the Battle of the TOs, potentially, Somarion. Oh no. Abbott, no. I think Abbott definitely can get to winner's quarters, but Lamp, oh no. I heard Rylander, so my boy Silent has Rylander potentially beating Giuseppe. I don't know about that, but I think that'll be an interesting one around V here. I think Rylander should safely get there. But Giuseppe has lost to Merkava last couple events. I think he lost to Dave. He lost to Burger Time. So like Merc might be a little bit of a pain matchup, and that's not even to say that he's guaranteed to get past Spinach, who plays really strongly himself. I think Spinach got 13th or 9th, excuse me, at Otaku, and Giuseppe ended up losing to Findos Carmine back at Michigan Masters last year. So that's maybe a more uncomfortable matchup for Gordeau, and I don't know how much he's been playing. I hope he's been playing more. He's definitely my favorite Gordeau. I think he's definitely a fan favorite, but I don't know if his energy has been in the game. I know he's been working and kind of paying attention to some other games. For that reason, I think I have Spinach beating him. I have Mr. Yusuck getting the clear lamp, and I'm sorry, Jay. Try your best, but I have clear lamp going. So I think clear lamp and Spinach get out of that pool from the winners final side, and then I'll have to figure out how things are gonna go. Clear lamp out in winners, and then Spinach out in losers finals, or out from losing winners finals rather. And let's take a look at semis. So where did Spinach end up going? On the Hagare side, so Marion would have lost to Linux. So I think Somarion probably can beat Hagare. I don't think that Somarion can beat Spinach or Giuseppe. Yeah, I don't think Somarion can beat him. And Jay, try your best, but I think Giuseppe makes it out. Yeah, I think Giuseppe's the third out. Not that he's infallible, but I think he probably does it. So let's take a peep at the chat here. Yeah, I definitely think that you can put on a show. Okay, so Rylander's been grinding. Oh, I actually forgot about that. Sorry. Rylander, I had him losing to Giuseppe, so I gotta see what side he's on. DGAL. Ooh. Oh, okay. So that changes a couple things. Man, Jay has to play the Merc Mirror. Oof. I think Rylander probably gets to lose the semifinals. So that's Rylander versus Giuseppe. And I think I still have Giuseppe there. So, yeah, try your best, everyone. And that completes the 5 o'clock pool portion. We'll move to the 7. Merc Mirror goes to the Wilder Merc. I see. Alright, so this is Royals Pool. Royals Pool, yay! Royal safely gets to winners finals. Actually, excuse me. Let me correct that. Safely gets to winners semis. Yokai unfortunately can't make it. Otherwise, that would have been an amazing round 2. Jesus Christ, that would have been a good round 2. Instead, we have a very, very good winners quarter of Smart Steer versus Tora. So Smart Steer is Ontario, former home of Psychotic. He was the second Aurier out there. Tora is, I think, a lot of players' second or third favorite Nanase. If you're putting the beloved Nanases around Neon and Murphy, there are a lot of expectations of Tora's growth as a player. And this is 100% a chance to show that off against Smart Steer, who is maybe not prolific yet, but definitely a talented player in his own right. Murphy, of course, has Tora here. I think that because Smart Steer presumably has experience against Icekin, who is also from that area, I probably have Smart Steer. But I would love to see Tora prove me wrong. And I think whether that be Smart Steer or Tora, it presents an interesting matchup for Royal. Although I think Royal has a lot more experience against Nanase than he does against Aurier. And I think they're JCT, I want to say, is the Hilda from that area. So Smart Steer, presuming that he gets to winner semis, that one's a kind of hairy matchup. Royal, I know, doesn't like Aurier very much, and Smart Steer is a strong player. I have Royal in my heart, but I would say be real careful. Oh, Tora over Smart Steer for sure from Liam. I see. That's interesting. And then on the bottom here, I think who? All right, let me just skip to the end. Sorry for the other players like Fire. I'm gonna skim over. We have JDR versus Isaac. Oh boy, that's another set that a lot of people are looking forward to. Can't ignore that one. That one's a highlight. I circled that one when I saw it. Jesus. I am sorry, JDR. I like Isaac. I like Isaac a lot, even. I definitely have Isaac. JDR is crazy. JDR is talented. But I saw Isaac doing things to the Japanese too. Oh boy. I think as long as Isaac doesn't get in his own head, then okay, so Isaac is from the area, no, not Infinity. Even though he might deliberately try to confuse people. Isaac is insane. Isaac's crazy. So like that miasma that you saw on Twitter with CVO memes and all this other stuff, wrecking the CVO, all that blah blah blah. That was Isaac. Isaac cooked me in Japan. Like 5-0 or 6-0 or whatever. I was pissed. Isaac is OD. I think Isaac might even 2-0 JDR. Even. It's Hyde. Yeah. He's crazy. I'll go as far as to say, Royal, I hope you're fucking ready. I believe in you. You have your reactions. But, like, I hope you're ready. Because Isaac can certainly get you. Isaac can certainly... No, you say JDR's a wild boy. Isaac is wilder than him. And if Royal goes phone on, he's going to lose. I'm gonna let that silence hold in because that's how certain I feel about that. That's how certain I feel about that. If Royal moves that damn character select to phone on, he's giving up the set. I think Royal at his best might lose to Isaac. Isaac, ooh boy. That one, circle that one. If you want to set some wagers on that one, then you definitely want to do that. So we'll move to losers. We have JDR in the slot versus Tora. Smart Steer, I think, safely gets the semis. I'm not entirely sure who else I feel. Duesta is a good lean A. Duesta's a good lean A. Let me see where he is actually. Duesta. Okay, Duesta's on JDR's path, so I think he'll probably lose to JDR. Tora versus JDR. That matchup sucks for Nanase. At least I've always felt that way. That matchup is frustrating. Tora, try your best, but I think JDR probably has that And JDR versus Smart Steer is kind of a toss up. I like Smart Steer, but JDR has a tendency to kind of pull out clutch moments too. And I don't know if Smart Steer necessarily has the composure to deal with that. Even though, I mean, like, you play against Rakir and Psychotic for months to years, that definitely brings that. But I think I'm going to call JDR out in losers of this one. Which leads me to Royal versus Isaac. I'm scared. I'm not even playing in that goddamn set. And I'm scared. Thank you, Drifter. Yeah, the Akka Pensive, that's how I feel about this set. Akka Pensive, 100%. I'm scared. Like, oh, Do has to play Seth. Okay, Do has to play Seth. I see. I thought he played Line. I was wrong. Yeah, it's not that I don't believe in you, but, like, Isaac's terrifying. Frosty, 100%. Especially if you were, thank you, Wish. Frosty, if you're just playing casuals, 300% you should play Isaac. I need you to play Isaac and then come to me and talk about it. We can talk for a good amount because I feel like there's going to be a lot to talk about. You need to play this guy 100%. Oh boy. Okay, so with me getting over my fear a little bit, Royal has some of the best composure that I've seen of any, like, not just Hilda player, but like any player in general. Like, I think Squish manages to will his way like through certain situations, but like Royal Spunk is so nice to see. It's so like refreshing. Like he really just, like, his grit is super good. And I think if you want to beat Isaac, you either like can't tilt and show your grit, or you just have to make sure he doesn't get to play at all. Like, you have to do that, and I think the combination allows Royal to win. But it's going to be 2-1. It's going to be 2-1 Royal if he wins. So, I have Royal in winners and Isaac out in losers. But like, that one's a coin flip, y'all. Like, that one, I kind of wish I got to commentate that. I feel, oh man, I wish I got to commentate that one. Whoever has that block, if you're listening, you got to get yourself ready. If you don't have the energy, I'm going to be pissed. Alright, so I think I had JDR getting out over Smart Steer. That one's a toss-up too. Like, this pool is definitely a good pool as well. Alright, E2. Oh god, and that follows up with that guy pool. Oh. So we got that guy in here. We got Fox. We got Sploogie. We got White Beast. Oh my god, here we go again. So that guy versus Fox. I think Fox was mentioning how busy he was going to be. I know he's commentating. I think like he's playing in a couple different things. He's commentating at least 2 different games. So that man's going to be busy. I hope he has some time to play. I know that guy, at least like from watching him at Texas Showdown, looked really comfortable in the Elton matchup. But like, Fox's defense, the more he's actually been playing, has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. But Byakuya is a character that sometimes, you know, even as comfortable as you are on defense, he put the web on top of you. He got the setup going. You can't get it all. You just can't. Especially if he's not willing to like force the throw tech to get rid of the webs. Like, if you're proactive in your answering and you answer wrong, like, it happens again. You know. I think that guy safely gets into winners finals. Sploogie versus White Beast is actually like, that one's like a low-key good set too. Like, White Beast has definitely been coming on. I know, like, I've been able to watch him since the Street Fighter days. I lost to him at Michigan Masters. Like, his composure's really good. He knows when to kind of turn it up. He knows, like, when you feel the intention to, like, start something, he's really good at cutting that off. And I think Splooky did play Maiko. Splooky played Maiko when he went down there. And I remember watching the VOD. I think Maiko was a little bit out of practice, but, like, I know the players in SoCal were having, like, pretty good records for the most part. Burger Time did really well. I think Breaker Dave was there. I think Calamity was there. I know Karudo was there. I remember Sploogy beating Maiko a couple times, like in sets rather. So I think Sploogy probably wins this, but keep your eye out on that one too. That one should be a good one. So that puts that guy versus Sploogy in winners finals. And kind of with everything that I said before, I think White Beast probably gets out safely. Lally Cancer being one of my locals. Previously, no, is he Fart Bath? I think so. He plays Mika, but I think White Beast probably gets out of this pool in losers. But definitely don't sleep on him. Definitely don't sleep on him. He's strong. So I'll put loser semifinals. White Beast, Woot Boost. Jeez, I still have a bracket to do, and it's almost midnight. Jesus Christ. Alright, so Sploogy versus that guy. I heard some potential tech from that guy. And I think that... Oh, Hank Hilda is Fartbath, excuse me. I heard some tech from that guy's side. I also know that that guy in Sploogy played some casuals. That guy said that he had lost, but he has some different ideas for the matchup now. I'm pretty sure like there's footage of Lamp probably playing against Seth a couple times. Yeah, that tech, the tech that we talked about, I don't think it's gonna work. I think Sploogy probably takes it 2-1, but I would like to see that guy win. I think Sploogy probably gets out in winners. So that's my winners set here. And out in losers finals is that guy. Alright, so we're gonna move on from here. And that is, Jesus Christ, I still have like 6 more pools. I'm gonna have to speed this one up because the bracket part is going to be the annoying part. FaZe and Eerily, Hyde versus Aurier. I think FaZe probably gets there. JJ safely gets to winner semis. Venus versus Young Patlord. I think this one's kind of a toss-up. Eltnum, I think, kind of poops on Carmine, but Patlord has a little bit more experience. I don't know how much experience Venus has. I'll say Venus. JJ will safely get to winners finals regardless. Spoinkman versus Slam could be interesting, but Slam at the very least has a lot of experience against Psychotic recently. Monta probably should get to Spoinkman. I think if Monta is playing the mirror and not playing his Byakuya, he will lose. If he plays his Byakuya, I think Spoinkman's favor might be 55-45, 60-40. Because New York doesn't have a whole lot of Aurier play. I think he is the Aurier player right now. So with that logic, I have Spoinkman, and then Slam beating Spoinkman. Let's see. Venice would take Young Patlord's spots. Venice versus FaZe. Venice probably. FaZe is on the other side. Or Patlord versus Spoink. Patlord has an Aurier problem. I think Spoinkman probably moves on. So that leads to Venus versus Spoinkman. Mm. So I think Outnum versus Aurier is kind of a tricky matchup. Uh, and Venus is crazy. And if you aren't on a good wavelength against Outnum, you will lose because uh, Venus definitely has the damage. But I think I'll put Spoinkman out in losers here. On the flip side, JJ versus Slam. Uh, that one, that one should be a good set. Uh, but Slam, I don't know if he has experience against a Line of JJ's level, or Phonon for that matter. I think JJ could probably play either. I know he's been basically playing solo Line at this point. I have JJ over Slam, so JJ Slam Spoink I think is my 3 out. 10 on JJ. Venice. Sorry guys, I don't remember how to pronounce his name, but we're going to move. Gotta type that in. So JJ Slam. Oh, Venice. Okay, Venice. And Spoink. Okay. E4. Let's finish up with the, what is this, 5? Yeah, I think it's the 5P block. Sorry, the 7P block. Psychotic, Path to Flip, Notorious, Mexicasual, Silver Hydra, Oro, Shinso, Matt Koma, and Red Reaper. And Hank Hilda. Alright, so Psychotic I think safely gets to winners finals. Mega Merc plays against Silver Hydra, who he kind of struggles with. Silver Hydra versus Oro is kind of a toss up. I know Ben is a little bit more of an aggressive style of Outnum, and I know that Oro has a lot of experience against Outnum. He's a prolific online player in and of itself. Doesn't always get to go out to the LP stuff, but I think he's really strong. I actually think that Oro probably beats Silver Hydra here, but loses to Psychotic. On the other hand, Shinso versus Koma, I don't know if MDVA really has like a Mika, and like the way that Shinso plays, Koma is definitely not prepared for that. So I think Shinso goes. Psychotic beats Shinso because Orie Mika is an absolutely god awful terrible matchup. So we're gonna have Psychotic, Shinso, and let's go through losers where we have Koma, Silver Hydra, Oro, Kama. So Oro loses where Silver Hydra goes. I think Oro versus Koma. Koma has to fight Silver Hydra. So I think Koma probably. That one's hard because I don't know how much Outnum experience Koma has, and I definitely have no idea how much experience Ben has against Fatista. Koma really looks to see him like he has everything. He trends to be a little bit more traditional from what I've watched as far as Fatista. So there's definitely a space for Ben to be able to win there. I think if Silver Hydra beats Matt Koma there, he gets out of the pool. But if Koma wins, I think Koma probably gets out of the pool. But Oro's really strong. Like that group of 3 is difficult to call. I'll just go with my initial gut feeling, which I think was Matt Koma. Yeah, Oro plays high. Oh, somebody had a gift. Venice gifted a sub to God Hunter. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, you think Oro will probably beat Coma? Yeah, I think that that's definitely possible. It's a hard call, but I'm gonna call Coma. I want to see Oro do it because I like Oro a lot. Actually, that's a lie. Sorry, I don't want to see him do it because I want to see Ben get out. But like, yeah, we'll put Coma for now though. Sorry, Ben, if you watch this, I believe in you though. You can do it. All right, so that I think finishes up the block of E. Yep. So we're gonna move to G. This one's School Bus. School Bus, Kyoku, Shinobi, Ju. Oh, ooh, that one's gonna be good. Goichi, Havard, Cheesy, Suna, and Macho. Yeah, Pivot Ace is in that too. Okay. So at the top, School Bus should safely get to winner semis. Shinobi versus Ju. Oh man, that should be a good one. Ju doesn't seem to have a whole lot of confidence right now. Shinobi is definitely on the come up. Like he's been coming. Uh, I'm not gonna pause. We're gonna unpause that. If you guys want to take it that way, you can go ahead and do it. Uh, I personally think Ju. Uh, I would like Ju to win, and I think that he will. Um, but Shinobi is a very seasoned player in his own right, and his Nanase is nice, like nice. He's got everything. I don't know how defensively ready Ju is there for, but my bias is just gonna put Ju there. Sorry. School Bus gets the winners finals though. So Chunk Brickson, Chunk Brickson versus Goichi. Chunk got out of his pool with Merkava. Goichi's defense is really good. I think that this is a potential like trap game, but I think Goichi wins. Uh, Havard versus Cheesy, so this is another Akatsuki versus Manase matchup. Uh, this one's kind of a toss up. I don't know who's going to win. My bias goes to Havard. So Havard versus Goichi. Goichi wins. Suna versus Macho. Ooh boy, this one's a little rough. Suna gets a difficult matchup immediately, even though I think he's relatively comfortable against Byakuya. Macho's like got really good defense. Suna's offense is really good too, as long as he's not in his own head. But definitely he can frustrate himself. And it looked like after watching Macho is like the type of player that like if he can key on something that pisses you off, he's gonna do it. And like Suna sometimes loses his composure. So I think Suna can win, but I might have the upset for Macho. Macho versus Goichi. I think Goichi probably wins that one. I have School Bus over Goichi. So let's poke through losers here. I have Macho. Suna basically wins all the way up to Ju with Shinobi on the other side. Shinobi versus Chunk Brinston should be really interesting here. Because that's where Ju would be. Shinobi versus Chunk. I think I like Shinobi here, but I could see him losing to Chunk. Suna. This is Macho down here. So Macho versus Shinobi is also a really good one. I think Macho probably wins. And I think Macho probably beats Ju here. So I think Macho is my third out in this pool. So let me go ahead and check the stream here. Yeah, the less you play Macho with respect, yeah. Yeah, this one's a little difficult. I think if Chunk beats Shinobi, Chunk gets out of the pool. But if Shinobi beats Chunk, I probably have Macho getting out of the pool. So we'll fix it that way. Shinobi and JU, I would love to see you correct me. I would like to be proven wrong. So, School Bus, aka Fendo, go 1. Goichi versus School Bus, I think is going to be a closer set than I might have implied before, but I have confidence in School Bus. So Macho's the 3. Let's see. Is this my pool coming up? I think it's actually Reds. Yeah. Minimat versus Sigma should be pretty interesting. Minimat has a lot of experience against Merkaba. Sigma is still a strong player in his own right. I think Sigma might be a bit more experienced. So I think he probably beats Minimat, but both of them lose to Red Blade. I think Kira safely gets through Deb. And Kira versus Silent. This one, actually, hold on. No. Before I even do that, Silent has to get through Osu. So, Silent versus Osu in and of itself should be a difficult one. I think Silent probably beats Osu because of experience. Osu doesn't seem to really play that much. I know Osu, like, I was pretty impressed by him. I think he's weaker than Kira, but, like, he has the knowledge. I think he's one of those players that has the theory, but not necessarily the practical stuff. Yeah, I think Silent wins. And then I think Silent over Ruffled. Sorry, Ruffled. Kira versus Silent. Kira's fucking cheap. Kira is real fucking cheap. And Silent, I know you've been playing a bunch of different players. I know you've been playing Kusanagi, but I think the way that I've actually seen Kira play and the way that I've experienced Kira play is closer to the Japanese Yuzus that I've played than like anybody else that I've played in the US. But this is really Kira's like first big outing, I think, outside of New York. So like I think I have Kira, but like Silent, that's not to say that I'm counting you out because I think you can certainly win it too. But I think Kira versus Red Blade, and Red Blade safely gets out. Red Blade basically has dominated Kira when I've watched him play before, and I love Silent, but Red, I think, basically would cook everybody in the pool. So yeah, so Red gets out in winners. I don't think that there's really upset potential for this one, like there was in some of the previous winner sides. So that puts us through losers. So Silent loses, I think, roughly where I have him. Then there's Minimat Sigma. I think that's flipped, maybe, because I have Minimat losing to Sigma. And I think Silent should beat Minimat, and I think Silent should beat Sigma. So I think Silent's my third out of that one as well. So Red Blade, Kira, Silent. Okay. Alright, so now here's my pool. Ugh. Yeesh. So I get to dodge Hilda. Yay! Woo! Yay! Yay! Josh P. I feel like I've seen that name, but oh, I get to dodge GC Yoshi too. Ooh, thank you, bracket gods. You've saved me. I don't have to worry about two pain in the ass matchups immediately. Infinity versus GC Yoshi. That one should be a fun one to watch, but like Jay's Jay. Like, sorry, GC Yoshi. I hope that you do well, but I think I have him. And then art, I think Vesperio is. I know I've seen Dippy-kun, and I know I've seen Vesperio. I don't really know who gets out of that group, but I think Arturo beats whoever gets out of that group. And young Art could show up, but I think Infinity's general game plan against Hilda and like his ability to dash block and everything, and his defense, like everything's too complete. Like I I definitely have Infinity. I think Hydrophobic or Josh P probably gets out to play against me. I'm not sure who Trained by Death or Strobes is. I don't want to sleep on them, but I have myself. Sorry. Um, Hydrophobic, I think, goes on to play me. I don't really like playing against Nanase that much, but I'm just kind of hoping to ape, and I'm hoping that you can't escape. So, yeah. I think Airco, she gets out of her cluster, and then I have to play Airco. When I've played Airco before, um, it's been pretty difficult initially. I think generally I end up kind of pulling out uh, wins like late, but in the early parts of sets, I'm not entirely sure like what sort of wavelength she's playing on, or at least that's been my experience when I've played with her in the past. And like Vitiska Akatsuki, a lot of things can go wrong at random spots, and if she gets momentum, like it just kind of carries. I like myself probably 2-1 against Airco. I have confidence in the Batista matchup, but it's always kind of shaky. So in that sense, it's me versus Jay, and I don't want to talk about that right now. So we're just gonna move on to losers. We have Arturo. I think properly losing in that spot. I think Hydrophobic probably gets out of. Actually, sorry. You have GC Yoshi. So GC Yoshi versus Airco probably. Hydrophobic, I think I had losing in a different area. Hydrophobic, wherever Trained by Death is. So Hydrophobic is probably one of the. Wait, where's Jin-san? Okay. He's on the other side then. So Hydrophobic, I think, plays Airco in Losers Quarters, and then GC Yoshi probably plays Arturo. I think GC Yoshi can beat Arturo, but I don't think he probably will. So I think Airco versus Arturo is the losers semis match of that one. I think that if Airco keeps her wits about her against Arturo, I don't know, cause like Arturo's been getting his routing upgraded by Angel, so like that matchup's weird. I think Airco probably understands what she needs to do to fight Hilda, so like I'm more inclined to put it in Airco's court. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. So I think Airco gets out in semis here, and then Trained is a Nanase from Vegas, Trained by Death. Oh god, does that mean I just have to fight fucking Nanases the entire time? Ugh. Am I just gonna play Orie? Am I gonna play the mirror? I really don't feel comfortable in the Nanase matchup, but I guess I'll just get comfortable in the Nanase matchup, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably just not gonna play Orie. I think the matchup's fine, but like a lot can go wrong there too. And I feel like I don't properly jump enough with Orie to play that matchup. But I don't know about. No, it might be. It might be. Into the Illusion is the Korean player. Oh God. So like, there's all sorts of roadmaps. I don't know who. Yeah. All right. I'll just make the assumption that I somehow managed to safely get to winners finals. Uh, yeah, I believe Frozen hates that matchup. It's obnoxious. I don't think the Nanaseis, or at least from what I've talked to, the Nanaseis don't love the matchup. But I don't know. But let's see. Me versus Infinity. So this guy's my bracket demon. I'm gonna try my best. So for now though, I have some ideas, but I'm gonna put Infinity through winners. So Infinity, me, Gamba, and Erko. I don't want to say that I'm sleeping on Art though. Art versus Erko, I think could be a toss up. I mean, Froze says that anywhere. Like, Froze hates the Akatsuki matchup and beats me like 7 out of 10 times. So like, Froze just says a lot of stuff. All right, so let's move on. Oh Jesus Christ, thank you. All right, so I'm at the end of pools, and it's not like this one doesn't have to make me think. This one has Beautiful Hair, Burger Time, and Miller. Chie Lover as well. This has Brandon in it. Climax, Estrogen, FLCD. Oh my goodness, all sorts of names I recognize here. So Climax and FLCD, assuming that FLCD 8K Flaccid is going to play Nanase. I kind of feel like he should play Hyde, but he might just play Nanase there. He's playing a Nana Mirror. And unfortunately, Jin has to fight Merkava versus not Merkava, excuse me, Yuzu versus Nanase. And in that sense, I think that Hakuna Merkava probably moves on. Jin is nice, but that matchup is very non-interactive for Nanase. You have to play that like extremely well. And aside from that, like Hakuna Merkava is going to be playing against Nanase's throughout the course of the way. So I think I'm just gonna call you Berserk. Berserk moving to fight Brandon. I don't think Brandon basically has anything that he has to worry about in this path of the pool. Beautiful Hair is good, but I think Miller probably beats Beautiful Hair. Chie Lover is definitely improved as Mika, but I think Burger Time safely goes there. Burger Time versus Miller actually is like sleeper set. Berserk versus Berserk versus Brandon is kind of a sleeper set too. But I think Brandon. Yeah, I actually think Brandon beats Berserk. And that's not like an actually. I think Brandon's probably the favorite there. Burger Time Miller has so much experience against like Merkava, but like Burger Time is so good. But like Miller's defense has gotten upgraded, and like assuming that he's a little bit more familiar with like the type of Merkava that is going to like set War Moki and like do JA stuff, I think he should be relatively comfortable. But like it's the Michigan National Guard matchup. Like that one I think can go either way. Yeah, I think that one definitely can go either way. So Tychus is calling for the Line Mirror in winners finals, and I think that there's a non-zero chance of that happening. But Miller, I believe in you. Burger Time, Sylvie, I love you. Sorry, but I still have Burger Time going through. Burger Time versus Brandon is the matchup that I think if you want to put some wagers on, you should definitely put some wagers on. I think that sets up relatively safely. I think Miller versus Berserk Part 2 in loser semifinals. Yeah. Uh, Brandon. So I think I mentioned two matchups before that I thought like you might want to put some wagers on, and like okay, no, they're not all West Coast versus East Coast. One of them is Midwest versus East Coast. They are Magnets versus Fox, Splooky versus that guy, and Brandon versus Burger Time are the ones. Like Brandon versus Burger Time. Oh my god, that one should be really good. CT Warrior definitely rolls some dice, but like Brandon, Brandon knows how to fight Merc, and Brandon is a madman. I mean, Burger Time's a mad woman. That's why this set. I'm gonna touch down there, and I'm gonna sit there like whether I'm sad or I'm happy about my pool's results, and I'm gonna drop some money. So like West Coast, get ready to drop some money for your girl. I'm gonna be putting some money on Brandon, and somebody's gonna lose some money. Like it just is going to happen. Uh, Even with that being the case, my brain tells me Sylvie, but my bias, which I'm going to allow to take hold, has Brandon getting out the winners here. So Brandon, Burger Time. But you still got to get your popcorn ready. You got to keep it together because Miller gets a run back with Berserk. I think the person that eliminated him and then went on to eliminate that guy at Michigan Masters. That one is yeah, Brandon lost to Clem. I don't think Brandon played like himself when he played Clem, though. I think that's like the difference. I think Burger Time is a stronger Merkava, but I think if Brandon can play comfortable, then Brandon. That shot is still about 50-50. I think it's a coin flip. A coin flip that I think Brandon wins. But, like, it really pains me to say that because, like, I think any time that, like, I've sort of been like, oh, Burger Time's real strong. I think she's going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, she came out and double eliminated Infinity. Like, that's crazy. Like, she beat Giuseppe. Like, she's got signature wins. Like, she's out here. Like, she's extremely talented. She works really hard. So that makes me really hesitant to bet against her. And I know that she'll talk shit to me if she hears that I do, and she probably will hear about it. But I think I have Brandon. I'm going to let my bias speak, and I have Brandon. And losers. This is Brandon 2B, Miller 2 Brandon versus Berserk. That one's kind of a toss up. I think Berserk won 2-1 over him to eliminate him. And Miller definitely feels stronger than he felt at Michigan Masters. And I'm sure Berserk, like, I can't speak in a vacuum, like, Berserk's not improving. But I'm going to put my bias out here. I'm going to go with the BBB, Miller 2B. Oh, Berserk is also a B, technically. I think I have Miller in the run back. So, it's Miller 2B, and I think that is all of the pools. So, this now means that I get to move to there. And it's 12 o'clock. I'm actually going to take a very short break because I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, still muted. Um, See you, Jay. Have a good one. Net play to the venue. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to be doing that, but I'll see you guys at the venue. Um, so this is a pain in the ass to do. I'm going to need more time to set it up, and we've been streaming for about an hour and 45 minutes. We can kind of do a wind down talk, but I'll probably end up doing a part 2 tomorrow. So if you guys want to tune in for that, please don't hesitate to do that. We've basically got our top 48, but if I want to put it into challenge for like another bracket, it's going to like be super annoying to do. So I don't have the time for that. It's going to take at least 30 minutes, and I don't want to spend 30 minutes tinkering around in challenge to a stream. So yeah, let's kind of talk a little bit. So we have some of our contested pool sets. We got Brandon versus Burger Time. We have Sploogie versus I That Guy. We have I think Argon Ross versus Suika was another one. Argon Ross versus Liam was another one. Like, what are your guys' kind of thoughts? Since I've spent basically an hour, 2 hours talking. What sets are you guys looking forward to? Let's go ahead and engage on that for the last, 15 minutes or so, maybe less than that. I know Magnets versus Fox is like almost number one of the sets that I want to watch, with Brandon versus Burger Time being number 2. Just pools. We'll talk top 48 tomorrow. I think I mentioned. I don't have the time or the energy to really do that, so we'll just keep it at pools for now. Although I guess in theory I could do a in theory I could sub it and then just work through and like send people down rather than doing the challenge thing. But even then I kind of have to restructure matchups. Yeah, I'll just worry about that, whether I do the challenge thing or just kind of do the eyeball test. I'll work through that tomorrow. So I'll do a stream probably around like 5:30, 6 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday. Yeah, JDR Isaac, Fox vs. Magnets. Yeah. We can kind of poke through the pools again. Let's start at C1. So, Shaq versus Norse is one. Fuzz versus Subrosion is a set. Actually, I can just type in some of these in the chat. So, yeah, Sploogie versus that guy. So we got Subrosion versus Fuzz. That's one that I'm definitely looking out for. And then Shaq versus the winner of that. Excuse me. Dollar versus Ryan Hunter is one that I'm looking out for. That one is an interesting one as well. And Dollar versus Clip, of course. Yeah, Argon versus the bad matchups. TTK versus Enigma. That's definitely another one. Yeah, TTK versus Enigma. Kusanagi would be pretty interesting too. I think Punk versus Vic Viper would be kind of interesting to watch. Punk versus Trill might be interesting depending on how much he knows. I mean, I have a personal investment. Hey, you go ahead and do it, Cookie. I believe in you. Cardo versus Sonic Spear, I think, should be good. Or I hope it will be good. I hope Kuruda loses. Sorry, Kuruda, that's my boy. I think Rakir versus Mars will be interesting. I think Rakir versus Tommy Two Step would be interesting too. LTP versus Zatcat. I think that one is a good one. And LTP versus Rakir should be really interesting, assuming that he doesn't win, of course. Assuming that he does win, rather. Sorry. D1. I actually think Squish versus Bafo. Actually, more than Squish versus Bafo. I think Bafo versus Kath should be interesting. I think Angel versus Tanner should be interesting, and Angel versus Squish should be interesting. Yeah, Mars definitely holds up on the joystick a lot. I think Bafo versus Kath, Squish versus Angel are probably the most interesting ones here. I think Magnets versus Ray, and Ray versus Pharaoh, and Fox versus Cookie. Like there's a lot of interesting sets there. Yeah, I think of those, I think Fox of, assuming he beats Cookie, versus Magnets, and Magnets versus Ray are the more interesting ones there. Argan's Pool, we kind of touched on the entire one of that one. I think Jay versus Hagare will be interesting. Rylander versus Giuseppe, and Giuseppe versus Spinach, presumably, also pretty interesting. Oh yeah, Royals has a bunch of them. Smart Steer versus Tora, the winner of that versus Royal. JDR versus Isaac, Isaac versus Royal. And then the losers one should be pretty interesting as well. Yeah. That guy versus Fox. Sploogie versus White Beast, and then that guy versus Sploogie. And then I think JJ versus FaZe. Actually, FaZe versus Eerily is probably the most interesting one of that block. Venus versus Young Pat Ward should be interesting. Spoinkman versus Slam, or Spoinkman versus Monta, or Monta versus Slam. All should be interesting, and so should the final. That one has a lot of components to it that I think you would have to pay attention to. Silver Hydra versus Oro, and then Koma versus Shinso. I think all are pretty interesting there. And then the cluster of Shinobi versus Ju will be very interesting. Chunk Brixton versus Goichi. Cheesy versus Havard. Suna versus Macho. Extremely interesting. And then that winner should be pretty good too. Minimat versus Sigma. Kira versus Silent. Osu versus Silent. All pretty interesting. GC Yoshi versus Infinity, Arturo versus Infinity, me versus whatever the clusterfuck there is, me versus Airco, and then potentially Airco versus Art to get out. And then Miller versus Beautiful Hair, Miller versus Burger Time, Berserk versus Brandon, Jin versus Berserk, Brandon versus Burger Time, and then the clusterfuck of losers. So based on the projected bracket, it would be easier if you lost to me in winners. Yeah. Let me go ahead and check that, because I remember like not loving my path. Enigma into Slam into Royal into Shaq into Psychotic. Yeah, for you, I think everything up to Royal is like fine for you. But you versus Royal, I think is hard. Honestly, Infinity, I would love to play your path. Like, these are all opponents that I definitely want to play, including you. I have some ideas about the Chaos matchup that I want to try. I have a little bit of experience against Trill now, and some ideas of what to do. I would love to play Infinity, or excuse me, this. I'm going to presumably be playing you Infinity. I definitely would like my run back, but I would love to play Clear Lamp and Bracket again. I'd like to play JJ. Like, I don't know. Your path looks really fun to me, to be honest. Yeah. I think, let's see. If you lose to JJ. Oh. If you lose to JJ, like, it's fine. I think as long as you get to that point, like, you either have a fun bracket or, like, I think presumably the group there, like, you would have to fight Angel, maybe, of that cluster. I think Angel probably beats Argon if she plays him. And then, like, Klim is doable for you, I think. And then based on the seeding, it's like, oh, it is potentially Burger Time again. And I don't know how you feel about playing her now. She had I know she double eliminated you at Climax. I don't know if you have some adjustments for Merkava. So either way, like this tournament's gonna be really exciting. I'm trying not to like overthink things and like yeah, I think it would be really interesting to see you play Burger Time again. Merkava actually doesn't seem like a matchup that you face super often. Um, yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, hides are kind of rare, actually. Like they're not rare, but they're also rare. If you guys understand what I mean when I say that. Yeah. I mean, Merc versus Hyde, I remember seeing in EL, like, that matchup was considered to be, like, 65-35, or, like, I'd heard that name, that word, Viscar Hyde. Okay, I see. Uh, I've heard, 55, or not 55, 65-35 in EL tossed around a bit. I think it's historically been kind of a difficult matchup for Hyde. So that'll be pretty interesting. I don't know. Like my weird opinion about Hyde is like that Hyde has no real business struggling with matchups that like Akatsuki I think is doable in. Yeah. Like I feel like I know I've had a conversation with someone about that before, about how I think like if Akatsuki can fight a matchup, then Hyde has no business like not really being able to fight it. But like those characters do have different tools, and like parry being a thing, and the fact that 2-2 DPs are significantly easier are like big factors. There's also like the fireball into 2-2x cancel like being a thing. Granted, it's not like you can't Veilbringer like through some stuff potentially. It's probably that the nature of high just kind of makes you think about presenting options a little differently, and like the frame data is obviously different up close. But the neutral, I think Hyde probably has some answers for, but like I can only talk as an outsider because I don't play Hyde. I play Akatsuki, so that makes things a little difficult. And it's not like I'm interested in playing Hyde myself. I don't particularly like that. Yeah, 2-2A, etc. versus Merc. That's a tool that Akatsuki certainly doesn't have. But yeah, I think watching that matchup is pretty interesting. That if that's like a rule versus rule breaker sort of matchup, Merkaba versus Hyde is a matchup that I think is pretty defined within the rules of the game, using that buzzword or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I think as I mentioned before, I will try to go through some sort of bracket tomorrow. I don't work until 12. And I know, like, at work, I'm not going to be thinking about shit except for going to Chicago. I still have to pack. I think I'll do some laundry in the morning or start some laundry in the morning. I'm more excited to just get out there. I think I mentioned this before on the previous stream, but if people are looking to record sets, from what I was told last time, and like communicating with some of the TOs at different events, I plan to bring my recording setup. I plan to bring my portable monitor. If I have space, I'll bring my larger one. But like, I honestly don't want to lug that shit around all weekend. And so, if people want recordings, Thursday when I touch down, I'm going to be setting up, presumably, because like the ballroom's probably not open. If I can find a space, I'm going to set up somewhere. And then Friday before pools, like, because like the earliest pool I think starts at, is it 3? Yeah, the earliest pool starts at 3, and then my duties for Combo Breaker, assuming there's not like a meeting in the morning, doesn't start until 5. Or yeah, my duties in the morning don't start until like 5 or 3. Yeah, asterisk for KFL coming to mess up predictions if he wants to spend $100 to enter a tournament. It kind of seems like a waste of time when he can just play casuals or money match people. But if that's what he wants to do, I guess he can do it, right? But yeah, Thursday and Friday morning, I'm going to have my recording set up. I basically cleared all of my stuff before, so I shouldn't have the issues that I had at Michigan Masters, where I thought I wiped the Makai Cup captures that I did, but I ran out of space and I didn't have my computer with me, so it was like a big clusterfuck. So I didn't get to record much of anything at my mass. So yeah, come see me if you want to play a set that's recorded, or come see me if you want to play me in a set that's recorded. I have a list of players that I definitely want to play. Maybe I'll break it out on Sunday, but like, honestly speaking, I think I just want to watch top 8s on Sunday. And in the evening on Friday, I think the Marvel 2 exhibition is there, so like I'm gonna be watching that. Like, so I think is that Friday or is that Saturday? Whatever the end of that is, I think it's Saturday. I'm gonna be watching the Marvel 2 exhibition. Um, how else do we want to round this? I guess I'll shill or whatever. So if you at all feel inclined, please do subscribe. You get a neat little emote, Aka Pensive, and if I get a couple more subs, you will get another emote that's basically at the ready. I don't really need to reveal it right now, but you'll get another neat emote. Aside from that, oh my god, there is my pin treat full of content. There is my blog. I wrote about Japan, and I wrote about Michigan Masters in the early part of the year on the latest blog post. I think with some time happening after this tournament, after Combo Breaker, because the next one I think is CEO, which I won't be attending, and then there's Evo after that. I'll do like kind of a half year sort of thing, since this tournament is basically the most prolific now until Evo tournament that we've ever had in the States for Under Night. There's my Twitch that you can see, my Twitter. Feel free to follow me if you would like to do that. There's my Akatsuki combo doc that is probably conceptually in progress. There's some stuff I think I want to add. Then there is my YouTube, which I'll go ahead and go to. If you would like to sub, that would be great. I'd like to hit 400 subscribers, even though I guess that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We have the exhibitions, and then got some videos up. In Cincinnati, I played a first to 7 with Miller. That was a good set that went down to the wire. I have my previous pool analysis and this analysis video, which will also go up on YouTube if you don't want to, mess around with Twitter VODs or whatever. I have a bunch of videos of me playing in Japan with the Shin Jushichi Muyo, Jushichi in Japan. These are recorded sets with me, Lenny, LTP, and Muon. And yeah, those are from the Cyclops. And then the Kim set, Needle versus Suika, Karatobi versus Suika, and then me versus Isaac. That was all at the KSB after party. Unfortunately, I didn't adequately describe what my setup was, so we didn't get as much footage as maybe we would have liked. And I didn't have the capacity to just leave it running. Plus, it annoys me. I have a particular way that I like to set up my captures, if you've happened to tell. Then different playlists. I have everything of me in Japan. I have my stuff versus online. I think the latest thing is like a set me versus Foxov. I have my Akatsuki if you want my footage. The last video is the uncut Cyclops weekly that had me playing Muon and Linny and a couple other players in tournament as well. Got exhibitions, which I was thinking about doing for CB. Maybe if I end up doing that, I don't know. I'll play touch and go. I know I wanted to record Foxov versus Suika, and Spooky versus Foxov, and like a couple of other sets, but honestly, like the way that the time works out, it seems like more of a hassle than I honestly want to deal with this time around. I mentioned before, I think before I started into the shilling or whatever, if you want to play a set, Thursday at evening to afternoon and Friday morning are the best times. Maybe asterisk, like hard maybe, on Sunday morning. I might do that, and then if I don't leave immediately on Monday and we have some stragglers, I might go ahead and record some sets there. But probably throughout the tournament day, especially since there's going to be like fucking 4,000 of us within like 4 or 5 ballrooms, I'm very likely not going to be recording. If you'd like, though, I think Cookie talked about bringing his recording setup. If he bothers to set that up, please feel free to hit that up. If Cookie wants to bring that footage to me, I should have my laptop around. I don't mind uploading that if that's a hassle that he wants to do, or if he doesn't feel like uploading it himself for his channel. If I were to make a suggestion for him, well, I don't know. The patch just hit. There's a bunch of craziness going on. There's a bunch of wonkiness with that patch. I don't know if he wants to record sets of that. But yeah, hit up Cookie or hit up me if you want to record some sets. And aside from that, I think I'm going to end the stream. It's about 12:30 Eastern. Thank you all for tuning in. Be on the lookout tomorrow. I'm going to go through my projected top 48 and then basically go through the rest of the tournament. Take care, everybody. Good night.